This is the way we see it. See it. This is the way we see it. This is the way we see it. See it. This is the way we see it. See it. This is. This is the way we see it. See it. This is the way we see it. This is the way we see it. See it. This is the way we see it.
You're listening to PowerPlugRadio, home of your throwback jams.
Yo, it is your boy Cranston Cumberbatch.
And I'm Kawana Norman.
And this is the way we see it. And we are here back in the studio, ladies and gentlemen, once again. And we are here to talk original series, TV shows that are hot right now. And were hot back then when they came out, because some of us are just catching up on these shows, like myself. And yeah, man, I mean, we've been having a good time in the studio pre-show, talking about a lot of things. And so those pre-show things that we talked about, we're going to mix in with today's show and, kind of give a shout out to a few places that deserve a little bit of attention. And for some of us who may not know, you need to go to these places and check them out. So we're not only talking to you and letting you know about these hot TV shows, but here in the great city of St. Petersburg that we live in, we got some nice hot spots that we want to introduce you guys to as well. So you can go and while you're watching these shows, be able to pick up some things to help you enjoy these shows while you watch them. And you can thank us for that too. All right?
All right.
We're going to jump in today. I say we start with Winning Time. Winning Time has finally reached episode 10. So the first season is over, and we have learned a lot about the Los Angeles Lakers. We've learned a lot about Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Jerry West, Jenny Buss, and Mr. Buss himself. We've learned a lot about Mr. Buss. Definitely, they definitely was California living, California dreaming, and this show did not disappoint. It didn't disappoint me. I don't think it disappointed anyone else that watched it.
I wasn't
for this
disappointed.
Season.
I was very excited to learn that season 2 is on the way.
Yeah, season 2 is definitely on the way, and it's interesting because around this show, I know when it first came out and when you first told me about it, Kawana, I thought that Magic and everybody was all behind it. Like they were like, yeah, this is our show, we support it. And I'm looking for Magic Johnson's name to be all over it, just kind of like how Will Smith's name was, on Bel Air, things of that nature. But I didn't see Magic Johnson's name nowhere other than in the show as the character.
Right. And they just, the producers, directors, everyone behind Winning Time just put out there like, listen, these are factual
right.
Events. We may have embellished a little bit, but for the most part,
this stuff happened.
Yes.
Somebody told on y'all, basically, is what he said. Yeah, it's from a book. Right. So for those of y'all that don't know, we got our boy Ardell in the house. Give him some claps. There you go. Yeah, yes, we got Ardell. Yes. we got Ardell in the house, so he's our fact checker, and we love having him in the show with us because he's the one that throws out those ancillary facts that helps add to the points that we're trying to make. And so grateful to have him in the house. And of course, shouts out to our producer, Miss Jam. She's always look at her, she's just laughing and blushing. It's just so funny. But yes, so we got the Power Plug team in the house, ladies and gentlemen, helping this show be great and look great and all that good stuff. And then we got my main man on the corner right here. My main man. I'm gonna keep calling him my main man because he's my main man. I ain't even gonna say his name because he's my main man. That's it. That's his name, goodness. My main man. So when y'all get to meet my main man, y'all gonna be like, yo, you the main man. And that's going to be his nickname. In fact, we're going to work on the T-shirt to say my main man right there. Wow. But back to winning time. So, so there is some growing controversy around the show itself, now that people are beginning to see what's happening in the show. And to be honest with you, I never took anything that's happening as a negative. I took it in respect of this was the time. This is what, when you came into the industry of entertainment, sports, things of that nature, these are the things that they introduce you to. And these are the things that athletes were doing in that time period, and it's not uncommon. It wasn't like there wasn't other things throughout the years that, like exposed this lifestyle. To say that we are like oblivious to it, it's just a matter of they just went behind the curtain to say, hey, these are the things that led up to these moments. These are some of the things that helped impact, this rise of this dynasty, and to really show like some realistic truths of the business of being in this industry. To how the owners, they have their struggles, the players have their struggles, the front office has their struggles, and and everybody's trying to fight for their place in this whole puzzle. And at the end of the day, that's all of us. If you went behind the curtain of all of our lives, you're going to see similar stories to this winning time rise of the Lakers. It's going to show a time of youth. It's going to show a time of maturity. It's going to show a time of, when you're at rock bottom and you're trying to figure it out on how I'm going to get from, scraping the bottom floor, to then rising again. And so, I looked at the show like that, but, I do also understand when you are telling personal stuff, you definitely don't want people to change their view or opinion of you based on what you show of what I do in private, And so the show does expose a lot of that. And as we always say, when we talk about winning time or any show on HBO Max, they leave nothing to the imagination. You are going to see it all, ladies and gentlemen. So hide your wife, hide your kids, hide whatever. Winning time is not for little people. Not at all. Not at all. So bring your grown folk, hat, and just be ready. But if you have not watched it, we definitely are encouraging you to watch it. Some of the things that we've been talking about, as well as far as the growing dynamics, is like Kareem and Hayward.
Yes, and I really don't understand why Kareem doesn't want to watch it because I'm so impressed with him.
Yeah, he's painted as a hero.
Exactly. So I'm like, why is he unhappy with his portrayal?
Yeah,
not sure.
Unless that wasn't him. Unless he was like 10 times meaner. Unless
a lot of them started out that way.
Yeah.
And I think as the show goes on, it's going to change.
Yeah.
They didn't know
what to expect. Yeah, they just know.
But it hasn't changed. They're like.
I can see why Magic would.
Yeah, Magic is he is firm with, and Kareem too. He's like, I would never watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
People who did it. People who shot it.
Yeah.
I don't believe them though. I believe they'll eventually watch it.
Yeah, I mean, low key. I mean,
you see how much love it is.
And like Jerry West, bruh, Now you might could be unhappy. You should because wow, who knew you were?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Jerry West, you know, he is the emblem. He's the logo for the NBA. And of course, when you think of a person who is the logo of the NBA, you think of a person that's like this, you know, really great, upstanding, you know, strong, titan of an individual.
He was never happy with anything. Because it's a scene when they show, like, even when he became the logo for the NBA, and I'm still not happy.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. And
that's
for
like
them
the
to say
highest
that,
honor.
Yeah.
And you're still not happy.
Which now, seeing the show, right? Seeing the show and talking about the logo, it's interesting as to how the conversation of Kobe Bryant, his image becoming the new logo for the NBA.
And Jerry West was behind it.
Yeah.
He was all for it. Like,
and rightfully so. If you look at his character on Winning Time, it looks like it was something he didn't really want anyway. You know, because his thing was, I want rings. And I only got one. Right? And he wanted those 5 other rings. The one he got was like, I feel as though this was a consolation prize because, right. But he's like, I want them 5 other ones.
I think he's the only person to win Finals MVP from losing.
Right. Yeah, he is. Well, one of them. I think somebody else did it. Somebody else became MVP. And matter of fact, was it Giannis? They won, but I'm talking about the year prior when they went.
No,
we're going to find out. We're going to find out. No worries. Ardell is on it. My man is on it. He's on the research right now to find out.
They've only been there one time.
I thought they were there twice, but never mind. Don't. Oh, you know what? You're right. They were only there once. What I'm thinking of is only Jerry West? He's the only one.
And that is why he's not happy.
Wow. Wow. I mean, but to still have that, you know, winning the MVP and not winning the championship that year, to going on to win a championship, you know, he has that. I mean, that's a high honor to be the only dude to be the best guy on the court but didn't win, but they still recognize you as being the best guy overall in the whole entire game for the whole entire season. They're saying you were the man. There's nobody touching you. And say it. Go ahead and say it.
What?
Go ahead and say his favorite line.
And I'm still not happy.
And I'm still not happy. So, you know, so it does make for a good case for Kobe Bryant to become the new logo for, you know, for the NBA. I mean, I don't think there's too many people against it, but that conversation has kind of died down. And I will also say that conversation too was at a height when black was really trending because we were still during the pandemic.
I think, honestly, I think it's going to happen. I just think it was just too soon. The conversation was too soon.
I don't think people understand how big and how embedded in American culture the NBA logo is.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean that image. Yeah,
So I think the conversation was just too soon. But I think as the years go, it'll be brought up again.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, I see the time as being now because, I mean, the NBA has changed so much from the Jerry West days, you know, and that logo does represent that time period of when Jerry West played to get that high honor and accolade. And the game has evolved so much that, you know, it is time to, I mean, teams have changed. They've changed locations. You know, they've definitely changed ownership. They've changed. I mean, so much has changed that to now change the logo, you know, I think, you know, gives a revamp, a resurgence to the NBA. So, you know, who knows? Maybe they'll do a Winning Time 4. And it'll be the rise of another team, and that leads to the change of the NBA logo. I don't know.
No,
but
I think it's going to change. I think Kobe's only been gone 2 years.
yeah.
So I think the older, that it goes on. And I don't know, for some reason I'm like, 5th, 10th anniversary of his death or something. Something's gonna happen. They're gonna honor him some type of way.
I feel you.
So I think it's gonna happen.
So, what was I going to say? So some of the dynamics in the show, we started talking about Hayward's drug addiction and how that flared up, and for a lot of guys, these things flare up in a time of like sincere and ultimate pressure. And he was under a lot, he was under a lot, and I want to say a part of that comes from the coach benching him, and not really having a full reason as to why, full understanding as to why. And it wasn't until like later that he gets.
Oh, I knew from the beginning why he got benched.
Oh, yes, we know, but he didn't know why he got benched.
No, he knew.
And the coach.
Listen, when the conversation was had, he knew he ran his mouth too much when he turned around and looked in the man's face.
Yeah, but.
So he knew.
But he still didn't know how much he heard, because you don't know how long a person was standing there. You just know, but I feel you.
I knew by the look on his face that he heard the whole conversation.
And then, a part of the coach's demeanor at the same time, to me, didn't denote that he would take that stronghold to say, I'm going to bench him, because he didn't portray himself that way. But as you see the coach mature, you saw him like say, all right, this my first move of being a stronger head coach, benching you, and so he benched him. But he still came in and he still contributed to the team. He did his part. He helped Kareem so much, defensively. He helped by setting, the right picks and things of that nature to free Kareem up, to get his shot off, to have room to step out and do that magical sky hook, that iconic sky hook. And, and I just thought it was interesting that, as they got to further into the playoffs, you see him start to get nervous, and he starts to turn back to those vices, to the drugs.
Because his body was wearing down.
Yeah.
I mean, his body was wearing down when he first came back to the Lakers. He wasn't 100%, but, he fought through it.
Yeah.
But as the season goes on, and you can see that with today's NBA, look how everybody falling apart. You know what I'm saying?
They're playing a lot of games. I mean, they play a lot of games.
So that's what happened with Hayward. His body literally was betraying him. It was falling apart.
So he needed something to numb his mind to fight through the pain. And, and pressure, it does that, especially when your performance is being judged.
Because can you imagine? He was the one taking all those blows, all those whatever for Kareem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Night in, night out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, there's when you play a professional sport and they're shooting you up with all this stuff.
Yeah.
That's a drug.
Exactly.
So when you're not taking it, you gotta.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Exactly.
And you're thinking of, yeah. How do I compensate for what I don't have?
Exactly.
And the heroin that he was doing, yeah, he was on that hard stuff, man. I mean, yes, man. Look, man, I mean, dude, my man said, he didn't say I'm killing one or two people on the Lakers. He said, I'm killing the Lakers. My man was ready to go take the whole team out. Ain't none of y'all going to the championships. I mean, he went and got a gun, and he was ready to go to town on all of them. And that was an interesting thing to know. And I'm curious as to who told that information. that he had. Did he say this in an interview? Did he say this to the team doctor? Did he?
But we were just told that the book was based on someone who was around that time.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. I mean, one of the executives back in the day. So,
And nothing's a secret. I'm sorry.
yeah, this is true. This is true. So somebody was in on the knowledge of, this mindset. But it did make for good drama at the same time. Even if it was embellished, I had to say, this is great TV, because you don't know if we didn't know until we actually saw it, if he actually was going to go through with this plot plan, things of that nature. Because back in that time frame, drugs and violence and all that good stuff was at an all-time high. I mean, it ain't gone down that much now, but it was at an all-time high to where it was nothing for somebody to come, pull up on you, pow, and take me to jail right now.
And then I don't really think he meant the Lakers per se, like all 15 of them. Killing the Lakers could be killing the main man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It could be Cap. It could have been him taking Magic out. You just don't know. You know what I'm saying? Who the symbolism was.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't think it was everybody. I think it was someone in particular. And it probably at the time was Cap, because Cap was the one who admitted I was the deciding vote.
Yeah.
So killing Cap would be basically killing the Lakers.
Yeah. I mean, I see it the way you see it. So this is the way we see it. No, I'm kidding. But no, I feel you on that. And that's good, because that is killing Kareem definitely would have been a way of killing the Lakers. But as we saw in the episode, spoiler alert, I mean, well, actually it's not really a spoiler, because everybody know that the Lakers won. And that if you really did your homework and research, or if you were around in that time frame, you knew that when Magic came in as a rookie, he won the NBA championship his rookie year. So it's really not that much of a secret, but the how they got there and what happened in between as they got there is what we're watching. Right. So and just seeing how all that plays out is just like real interesting.
It was something else that I was thinking about too. Did you notice how just at the moment when he was getting ready to basically take his own life, the doorbell ring?
Yeah. And it was Kareem. Yeah.
The man that you thought.
Yeah, he was in the tub. And I just knew. And he had the radio TV or something like that right there.
So if he didn't electrocute himself, he was going to
shoot himself.
Yeah. So he's going to take himself out. But the man who you so upset with, who you thought took your career away from you, literally just saved your life.
Yeah. And is the only one that came to see about you.
Exactly.
Nobody else. Right. Right. And you got a ring, not even playing. I mean, he did contribute to them getting there, and he played in enough playoff games to where he's still eligible for the ring.
Right.
But for Kareem to, be that type of man to still go and see about him, And back to what we were saying about why are you against the show? I mean, you're painted as a hero.
That's it. I'm like, buddy, you come out looking good on this.
I mean, man, you could do no wrong, Kareem.
No, seriously.
They got you standing up for civil rights. They got you they even gave some love to the fact that you were conflicted about whether or not being a star athlete, if being on the same line of Muhammad Ali, and questioning whether or not this platform that I'm on, am I betraying my culture? Am I going against the fight, or am I helping with the fight? And that, what side of the fence are you on, and how do I use this platform then to help my people, and getting that insight to know how to do that, staying in it. And, so the show gives that. And it's like, man, come on, man. How?
I don't understand it.
But yeah.
Well, Magic said before it made him just look like he was just out here.
He was. But the thing, and that is what he said. But it's like Magic. We're not
We're not dumb.
We're not dumb. We're grown people. We
Right.
know.
My thing is this too, like, bro, this is based on true events.
Yeah.
Like, there's people who know this.
Right. They were there.
Exactly.
They were there.
Yeah,
So-
I'm talking to people personally that
Yeah.
like been around the NBA since like the 70s and 80s, and it was like, yeah.
And you got AIDS. You caught AIDS. You caught AIDS. And it wasn't from Cookie.
Yeah.
You
So
were violent and you cheated. Either way,
you got AIDS.
yeah.
And you did so, and it's okay. I mean, nobody's judging you. Nobody's like, man, Magic,
But
you
that's
was a bad
because
man.
that's because he's tried over the years to clean up that image
Yeah.
and to build himself into this business mogul.
And he has.
You know,
He has.
There's a documentary coming out about Magic.
Right. It's already
Yes.
out.
And in the documentary, I've seen like a clip that says he didn't let Cookie come to his playoff games until 1990.
see?
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
So my guess is too, maybe he was trying to like, maybe he felt a way about it coming out first before his documentary.
So right,
And it is out now on Apple TV.
yes, it's on Apple TV. Magic Johnson's documentary is out on Apple TV.
Yes, it is.
And that I'm going to tell you right now, just from a business standpoint, you know, before winning time, Magic was already working on this documentary. This documentary is already coming out.
Right.
Because you got to look and think about it too. Let's go back pandemic. You had the story about the Bulls, right? The Last Dance. And the Last Dance came out and like gave the good, the bad, the ugly, you know, of the team. And guess what? Everybody loved it. Everybody loved it. It revamped the love of Michael Jordan. You know, it revamped the love
everybody didn't love it.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Because Scottie Pippen did not love it.
So Scottie Pippen, over time, and what happened is conversations like this started happening. And people started, you know, saying backroom chat and things of that nature. And they started looking at this story as being more of just the Michael Jordan story, you know, and not
Story about the Bulls.
right. It's a story about the Bulls. And because Michael Jordan was the main figure of the Bulls, it's like you don't get around not talking about him or highlighting him the most. Yeah.
Michael Jordan.
He was the biggest superstar in the world.
I thought he was the logo at first.
Right. He might as well been. I mean, matter of fact, now that we're going back to that topic, hot second, Michael Jordan should be the logo of instead of Kobe. Right. He's a bigger star athlete all the way around more than Kobe. So if we're gonna change the logo, I'm putting in a new fight for Michael Jordan. You know, it should be.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Yes. So maybe you know what? You know who they're gonna pick? You know who they're gonna pick to be the new logo, right? Larry Bird. Larry Bird is gonna be the new logo for the NBA. Yeah. Well, you know, he doesn't. I mean, he doesn't because in essence, you know, he's from what? French Lick, Indiana, and you know, he's like, yeah, he was a country boy. You know, I came to play ball. That's it.
I'm glad though they didn't make him out to be racist.
Yeah.
He wasn't a racist person.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Austin is extremely racist.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they put him against Magic, but not because Magic was black.
Yeah. The rivalry. And that rivalry continued into the NBA all the way to their teams like consistently meeting up for the championship. So it was college all over for them every time.
That'd be like the worst like 2 or 3 years of your professional career. Like you get beat by this guy this in college.
Yeah.
This smiling
Right.
black dude. And then the very next year,
Right.
he wins the NBA championship. He beats you at your home
Right.
first.
He beats you at your home
He
first.
beats you after
Yes.
I have been smacking on the Lakers.
Yeah.
And then wins the championship. All the people won the rookie of the year.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All that.
The genius of David Stern, too.
He knew what he was doing. He knew. Oh, since we're talking about that, since we're talking about David Stern, they win the championship, right? And this whole time, even Magic is saying MVP should go to Kareem. Kareem's hurt. He's hurt. Game 6 of the series. The Lakers win this, they win the championship. If not, they got to go to game 7. Game before, Kareem's giving it his all. Third quarter. Or was it before halftime? Yeah, it was before halftime. Second quarter, Kareem goes down with the major ankle injury. And they don't know if it's broken, sprained, or what. And, they are ready to rush him to the hospital to get the MRI to see how bad it is. And homeboy's like, no, get me back out there. I got to play. And, they talk it all over and he ends up coming back and playing. And the man has a monster of a night. And at the end of the game, he can't walk no more. And he can't even make it to game 6. He gave it all in game 5 and it's a wrap. And so now, it's all on Magic to help now lead and inspire the team to win. And it happens. They do it. Magic plays center, which was, yeah. Right. And so
that was his scheme in training camp.
Right.
Because Kareem couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
With them until Kareem showed that he could keep up.
Right.
So his scheme was to go small ball. That's
Yeah.
why he kept saying, I don't care if he brings the ball down.
Right.
So when he gave him the paper, in my head, I already know the game.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh yeah, this is when they go small ball and win. Yeah. But also too, in the season, the first time he played Dr. J, right? They switch some things around. So if you're a basketball enthusiast, then when he did the cradle dunk,
Yeah.
Dr. J did the cradle dunk on the Lakers.
Yeah.
It wasn't on Dr. J.
It was actually on Michael Cooper. Yeah. But for drama, it made yes.
The moment,
Yes.
Welcome to the NBA moment.
Yes.
Dr. J was his idol.
Yes. So a big shouts out to our boy Dave Smith, who chimed in on YouTube to say for me to not talk about Kawana's Kobe Bryant. I love me some Kobe. So we'll still low key vote for Kobe to still be the logo.
It really didn't matter what you said.
You ain't affecting my love for the man.
Not at all.
Yes.
Yeah, you did. That was cute.
Yeah. but it was just interesting, and so here it is. The Lakers win the championship, and they win the championship with Magic at center. And, what they did was just totally confuse the Sixers. They didn't know what to do because, you got this center who can score, pass, and defend. And so, and if Magic's bringing the ball down and the center is guarding him as a center, right, nobody's under the basket. So you now have potential of bigger men to now be under the basket to score, versus smaller men. And so it just totally disrupted the Sixers at the time, and they just didn't know how to handle it. And Magic just took off. He was just in a place where he could do whatever he wanted to. And at the time, Norm Nixon, he was the original point guard. So you had two people that can handle the ball and score. So, and Norm had bought in to the Magic show. He was all about, look, when you give me the ball, I'm going to do my thing, but you do your thing with the ball and I'm going to do my thing once you give it to me. He was a good player. I remember I played with him. What game was that? It was NBA 2K, one of them. And I remember it went back to that Lakers team. And I played with Norm Nixon. And I'm going to tell you, man, every time I shot a 2, it was nothing but money. Yeah. Every time I shot a 2, it was nothing but money. I'm like, okay, I don't even know who you are, buddy, but I'm liking you, But to my point, to me bringing all of that up is when David Stern approaches Magic about MVP, and he's like, "Hey, we want you to be the MVP of the series of the championships." And all before, Magic was like, "Nah, it's Kareem. Kareem's MVP. He deserves that trophy. If they try to give it to me, I'm gonna, say this belongs to Kareem." And then the moment actually happens, and David Stern's like, "Hey, we want you to be MVP." And he's like, "Nah, it's Kareem's." And he's like, yeah, but Kareem's not here, and Kareem didn't win this game, and so you won this game, and so this is about you and basically the future of the NBA. Because as a rookie, he just won the NBA championship. He came in hot and stayed hot the whole season, all the way to the end. And it's like, nah.
Yeah, he's the reason they was what they were.
Right.
They sucked before that.
Yeah. And so with that, they saw Kareem being on his last leg, because Kareem he's been playing for several years. Kareem's like at the point of retirement.
He was about to retire, I think, after that year. He
Right.
was contemplating retirement.
Right. Because, he had already won 3 or 4 championships, maybe 5 by this time, with Milwaukee. And he then comes to the Lakers, and the Lakers aren't that great of a team before Magic, and it was because of Magic that he stuck around a few more years after that. And they won a few more championships after that, And so it made sense now that I'm talking out loud about it. At the time, I get the sentiment from Magic, seeing that, without Kareem, we don't have that over the top, or that thing that pushes us over the edge, that gives us that little bit of extra, and so, it was just interesting to see that. But that conversation was, I think, an interesting moral conversation.
But they had a conversation before that.
Yeah.
Earlier in the season.
Yeah.
And they was in the club, and Stern sat him down and was like, the time's going to come where we want you and Bird to be the people.
Yeah.
And then that's why he says, remember that conversation?
Yeah. Remember that conversation. You're right. Now's the time. You're right. And they were the NBA, at the time. They were the biggest revenue generators at the time. As far as jerseys was concerned, their Bird and Magic's were the highest selling jerseys, of that time frame, and I don't think Magic ever changed his number.
No.
Yeah, his whole playing career, he's never changed his number. So, come on. But it did kind of make sense to say, you being the MVP of this series represents the future of the NBA and where we are heading and where we're trying to take this thing. We want you to be the leader of this flagship. And so, with that, it just made a lot of sense. So, but yeah. So we talked a lot about winning time. We talked about the winning time practically the whole show, but that's good because the show is just that good. It's just so many powerful dynamics in the show. If you have not watched it, we encourage you to please go out and watch Winning Time, Rise of the Lakers. It is not your typical type of show. It is on HBO Max. I leave nothing to the imagination. So you're going to be thoroughly entertained in everything you see. I promise you, you are going to. And you know what? The show is just as good as this water that I'm drinking from Publix right now, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Big shout out to Publix, the place where shopping is a pleasure, and they don't make nothing bad. If Publix has made something bad that you've experienced, like this is bad that I got from Publix, please let us know, because I have yet to experience anything bad from Publix. We are looking for them to be a sponsor of The Way We See It. We're going to talk to them about that. So this is a free shout out plug, and I'm just telling the truth. The way I see it, Publix has done no wrong by me, and this purified water from Publix is Good. Yes. So yes, and we were talking about this, pre-show as well. We was talking about Aldi's. And Aldi's, oh man, so many people sleeping on Aldi's right now. For all of you health fanatics like myself, like my boy Ardell, and so many of us that's really trying to get our summer fine on, check this out. You're going to get your best health food, period, and snacks from Aldi's. I mean, they got it for the low. Trust me when I tell you, you're going to rack up and get all that you need. Don't get it from Publix. I mean, although if you do get it from Publix, it's going to be great. It's going to be good, but you definitely are going to spend some money to get it, right? They're going to make you earn shopping in this place. However, Aldi's, they got it just as good for just as low. Let me tell you. And if you're into fine wines and all that other stuff, your sangrias, things of that nature, I'm going to tell you right now, Aldi's got you on that too. $2 wines, man, I'm telling you, just go, trust me, and thank me and Kawana for putting y'all on to some of the best stuff that you're going to get, because this is the way we see it, and this is the way we saw it, and this is the way we seeing it, and we're just here to tell you all about good stuff. We're here to make you aware of all of the good things that are here and around the city of St. Pete. And the last shout out plug that I'm going to give as we get ready to start winding down, that is not Publix water, but that's okay. That's okay. You are entitled to drink what you drink, but Publix water, I don't know where they get it from, what glacier they pulled it from, but they pulled it from a good one, because this is And water normally has water has a taste. People say water doesn't have a taste. Water has a taste, and there is I call it the taste of refreshment. A taste of refreshment, and Publix water has that. It has that taste of refreshment. So y'all heard it here first. Cranston told you Publix water is the bomb diggity, and it has a taste of refreshment. And you got a taste of refreshment. You gotta you gotta take the pause for the taste. Taste of refreshment. You cannot just drink it normal. I'm just telling you right now. Sip your water, see if that happens. She's got Pure Life water. I don't know where this comes from, but I have drunk Pure Life water before, and Pure Life's not bad. Pure Life is not bad water. I believe that might be a Walmart brand water, and it's not bad, but it does not give the same. What happened? Maybe. I mean, Ardell, can we do some research on Pure Life water to see if Crystal water, Pure Life water, and then I can tell you right now, Crystal is not a knockoff of Zephyr Hills. Crystal is Crystal, Crystal is Crystal. So they are bottling their water from somewhere. If it's Zephyr Hills water,
No, it's Nestle.
Nestle's water. Okay, got you. All right. Well, Nestle's not bad. Nestle, helped a lot of us get through life. We wouldn't be as grown as we are without Nestle, having a part in our lives in some kind of way. Chocolate milk, chocolate bars,
oh boy,
cakes, all that good stuff. What? Dollar Tree water? I don't know. Somebody tell us. What's Dollar Tree's brand? Miss Garrett, please tell us, what's Dollar Tree's brand? Is it Nestle? Is it Zephyr Hills? Is it okay, Sam's Choice. I got you. And you know what? The true test of a water that gives you that taste of refreshment is when it's cold. Lukewarm water, I get it. Yeah. Guys. Room temperature water. Now, so for those of us that are like in the music industry and vocalists and things of that nature and all that good stuff, you know, cold water is not always good to drink. Lukewarm water is, you know, good. However, when you need a taste of refreshment, cold water is what gives you that true judgment of whether or not you're getting that. And this Publix water is nice and cold. And when I sip it, I get a taste. Crystal water. So listen. So that's the Dollar Tree brand of Crystal Springs water. All right. Shout out to Crystal Springs, you know, but I don't know. Maybe one day on the show we would do a taste test of all three between Pure Life, Publix, and Crystal. Yeah, just line them up. I know one of them we're not going to try is Dasani. You can hang that up. You can hang that. I don't know where they get the Dasani water from. I mean, I think they pouring it from somebody's water hose out of the yard. But right, it don't freeze. Yes, the water doesn't get cold. Dasani is the one water that does not get cold, ladies and gentlemen. It does not freeze. Listen, I'm telling you, I don't know what's in it, but anyway. So it's something, but it's you know how when you leave ice in a cup for too long, I think that's what it is. So it's like it's Coke. It's Coke that melted in ice, and of course the color changes. It goes from brown to that clear, and I think they run it through a purifier, and there you go, Dasani. Wow. Can somebody? Oh, Ardell left. I was gonna have her research what Dasani means, but you know what? I'm gonna research it myself to see what does Dasani mean. Does Dasani have a meaning? Let's see. What does Dasani mean?
According to Wikipedia, Dasani is an American brand of bottled water created by the Coca-Cola Company, launched in 1999.
There it goes. Wow.
It's in the water.
Wow.
They got the crack in the water. So let's see. Dave said some people have sensitive teeth, and that's why they prefer room temperature water. Okay, I mean I can go with that. You know, because cold water, yes, cold water does do that to teeth. It does give a little chill. You got some sensitive nerves, you know, in there. But end of the day, though, when it comes to thirst quenching, I mean a nice. Let's think back in the day. The thing to quench your thirst back in the day used to be what? A nice cold glass of lemonade, right? All the way to where little kids are selling it on the corner for 25 cents and things of that nature. At least that's what the commercials say that I used to watch and TV shows that I used to watch, you know. But a nice cool glass of refreshing lemonade, that used to be the drink of choice back in the day. Not ice cold water, but I remember playing outside and coming inside, and when I would get the water out the fridge and pour that in the cup, oh man, I'm drinking 5 or 6 of them. Or if I was at a rec center and I'm drinking out of the fountain, when that ice cold water came out of that fountain, it was the best water ever. I mean, that's what, yes, it made that noise, right? It kicked on, that refrigeration kicked on, and you knew you was getting the cold water, you know. Anyway, can we get a hand clap one time for, yes, this is for this Publix water that has given us the taste of refreshment today. Please go and get your Publix water, but if you can't afford it, you know, or if it's just too much for the budget, which we understand, or you just don't want to pay that much for water, yes, we got Pure Life and Crystal, which are equally good waters. You heard it here on The Way We See It, ladies and gentlemen. And so, I don't know. I think that's our show for today. Kawana, you got anything else you want to add in?
I don't even know where to go from there.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, just to hip you to a lot of these shows are at their season finales. So Snowfall, we're waiting for season 6 to come. Power Force, we're waiting for season 2 to come. Power Ghost, we're waiting for season 3 to come. And
Next.
Yeah.
Season 2.
Yeah. So Raising Kanan is coming back, so we're looking forward to that. Winning Time, we're waiting for season 2 for that.
Some announcements. Monique has been cast to be in BMF.
Yeah, so BMF is coming
As
back.
a character named Goldie.
Goldie. Oh, loud.
Looking forward to that.
Yes. She's gonna be.
He made a promise to her, and he kept his promise.
Yeah, so she's definitely going to be in BMF. And BMF was a good show, so we may even talk about BMF a little bit, and that's based on a true story.
That'll be on after Raising Kanan.
Yeah, gotcha. A couple other shows that we are watching, which currently are in season. Well, one of them. The other one is a new one that I just got hipped on to. I got hipped onto it before, but now I'm actually watching it.
I hipped him like last year.
Yes. And that show is Harlem with Megan Good. And it really is a good show. It's a comedy series, but not so much, funny, but it is a lighter look at life, especially from a woman's perspective and being out there in the real world, grown, accomplished, and looking for love, looking for your place, in society, looking for respect, all that good stuff. I mean, this show encompasses so much, and it's a really, really, really good show, and I'm enjoying what I'm seeing.
It puts you in the mind of Sex in the City.
Yes, puts you in the mind. Yeah, it does. Very much so, yeah. So the Black Sex in the City is where Harlem is.
That's what it is.
Yeah, there you go. You said it. You should have said that earlier. I probably would have watched it sooner.
That's the way I see it.
That's the way she sees it. Yes. Yeah, cool. I see it. Yeah. So Harlem, really, really good show. And then the other show that we are also watching is The Flight Attendant. And that is a really compelling story about this flight attendant who gets caught up in this one night stand, and this one night stand turns fatal, and just her way of figuring out, how this happened, who's behind it, and trying to keep herself out of trouble at the same time and still keep her job is really a lot of the plot line of this first season that we're watching. It's 2 seasons out right now. We're currently watching season 1. And, it's, really, 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 really a good show. Definitely entertaining, and will keep you, wanting to see more.
I actually did what our producer asked us to do.
She did her homework.
Yes, I did. Do my homework. I did.
So what'd you do?
Watch Jocelyn's Cabaret.
Oh, gosh. Oh, I forgot again. So you watched Jocelyn's Cabaret?
Yes, I did it, and I didn't realize it was 3 seasons. So
we can't show nothing of Jocelyn's Cabaret
You cannot
here,
but
it definitely.
I definitely skipped around. I went from season 1. I went to a little bit of season 2, and season 3 is in Las Vegas. Oh my. So, yeah.
Jocelyn's Cabaret. We need to put that on the website as well. I need to start watching that and catch up. So we got a lot of good stuff that we are into right now. And we hope that somewhere in what we say and talk about, that we will inspire you to check these shows out as well. It's not a right now thing, but it's an eventual thing. And you won't be disappointed. And if you are, got something to talk about.
It's another show because we want our audience to be of all ages.
Yeah.
There is a good one that I've been watching since the beginning on Netflix with Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin.
Yeah.
What's the name of it? Grace and Frankie and Grace.
Oh, yeah. I did, yes.
Very good.
Yes, I watched that. Yes, Grace and Frankie definitely is a good one.
Yes.
And it's real cool to see 2 super seasoned actresses, finally come together again, at this stage of life and still doing it the way they did it when they were back in their 20s and 30s.
It's a very funny show.
Yeah.
Show.
and the dynamics, the character dynamics between the two of them.
Yes.
It's like a night and day type of deal, but they're best friends, you know, and it just really, and the way they live their lives and, you know, the family dynamics and all that good stuff. That show is really good. So I'm glad you brought that up. That is another good one. Grace and Frankie is another good one for those of you who are looking for something a little different. And I don't know. So I'm going to stop right there because there's so much more we can say. But yes, we are definitely out of time for today. We hope you have enjoyed today's show. We definitely have more in store for you next Thursday, 6:00. And, you know, we hope that you will call in at our number 727-686. I knew that, 0512.
Do you need some more water?
I know, right? You know what? That's the problem right there. I need a taste of refreshment. But yes, 727-686-0512. You can call in and talk to us. Give us your thoughts on the shows we're talking about or just shows that you are watching that we may not know about. Hip us to it. We'll be more than happy to check them out and talk about them on the show.
And you know everybody right now is watching the NBA playoffs.
Yeah, NBA playoffs, you know, but
Let's get them a shout out.
Yeah, NBA playoffs definitely has been entertaining. You know, as most playoffs are. I mean, you know, these teams. Yeah, it's the best time to watch basketball. You know, Showtime is back, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting some really good highlights. These teams are definitely going at it, and you know, and it's not your typical teams. You know, yes, there was the time where the typical teams were getting there. You knew who was getting there, and but now you don't know. You have no idea, and they're going for the gold. So, you know, check out the NBA Finals.
June, the Shy returns.
The Shy returns in June, ladies and gentlemen. So more great shows is coming up. So we got a lot to talk about. So tune in next week. Stranger Things. Yeah,
You know what?
Stranger
I heard
Things.
that was good.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Stranger Things also comes back. So a lot of good shows. See, like even right now, we're getting more material.
Animal
which is
Kingdom.
Great. Animal Kingdom. See, look, we're going to get off the air, y'all, because we're going to P-Valley. Yes, P-Valley is good. No lies on that. If you have not watched P-Valley, and I can't say P-Valley what it stands for, but just look up P-Valley. It'll show you. P-Valley is another good show.
On Stars.
On Stars. And, you know, that it leaves some things to the imagination, but as far as the imagination, it definitely opens it wide. And so, you know, but it is a good show. It has a good storyline. And it's not your typical show that you think it would be. It's one of those you kind of got to watch the dynamics of it unfold. And, you know, I truly like the production behind all of these shows. But again, that's our time for today. We thank you so much for tuning in and sticking with us. And tune in next Thursday. We bring it and do it all over again, and we talk about these shows and the way we see it. All right, so I'm Cranston Cumberbatch,
Kawana Norman,
and this is the way we see it.
You're listening to PowerPlugRadio, home of your throwback jams.
This is the way we see it. See it. This is the way we see it. This is the way we see it. See it. This is the way we
You're listening to PowerPlug Radio, home of your throwback jams.